Shock testimony to the U.S. House. Hunter Biden was selling access to his father for his business interests. Joe Biden was the product, the brand, quote unquote, his son sold around the world to enrich the Biden family, was the testimony. Devin Archer testified to the U.S. House Oversight Committee on Monday that his former aide, Hunter Biden, was selling the illusion, quote unquote, of access to his father. Then he was vice president, according to a source familiar with the closed-door testimony. This is the latest development in the investigations being carried out in the Republican-led Congress about the son of the U.S. president. Matthew Schwartz, managing director of Boyce, Schiffer, Flaxner, LLP, and Archer's attorney, acknowledged that both sides are claiming victory after Archer's voluntary deposition today. But all Devin Archer did was exactly what we said he would do, show up and answer honestly the questions that were put to him, Schwartz said in his statement. Mr. Archer has shared the truth with the commission, and we will leave it to them and others to decide what to do with it, the lawyer said. GOP Representative James Comer, chairman of the House Oversight Committee, said Archer's testimony confirms questions about Joe Biden's knowledge of his son's foreign business dealings and shows the president has not been honest in his previous denials. When Joe Biden was vice president of the United States, he attended Hunter Biden's dinners with his foreign business associates in person or via wiretap on over 20 occasions, Comer said in a statement, referring to testimony that Democrats have also acknowledged that Archer gave. And Comer continued saying Joe Biden was the product, the brand, that his son sold around the world to enrich the Biden family, Comer said. When Bursima's owner was facing pressure from the Ukrainian prosecutor investigating the company for corruption, Archer testified that Bursima executives asked Hunter to call Washington after a Bursima board meeting in Dubai. Why did Joe Biden lie to the American people about his family's business dealings and involvement, he wondered. It begs the question of what else the president is hiding from the American people. Comer said the House Oversight and Accountability Committee will continue to monitor the Biden's finances and take testimony from witnesses to determine whether foreign actors targeted the Bidens, whether President Biden was involved, and whether the national security was involved. At the same time, a second source told CNN that indeed Archer, who has served on the board of Ukrainian natural gas company Bursima Holdings alongside with Hunter since 2014, testified to the committee that the U.S. president's son was selling the illusion of access to his father, but later clarified that Hunter was actually selling the illusion of access to Washington and knowledge of how the system worked. Representative Dan Goldman, a Democrat who was present at Archer's testimony, said there was no evidence linking the president to his son's foreign dealings. He reported that Archer told the panel that Hunter Biden had put his father on the phone in the presence of business associates, but that this business matter was never discussed. Archer's testimony comes as House Republicans appear to be shifting their focus away from trying to impeach members of President Joe Biden's cabinet and instead prioritize efforts to impeach the president himself by linking him to his son's controversial business dealings, of which are now expected to be in focus. Goldman told reporters during a break in the hearing that Archer reported that Hunter putting his father on the phone in the presence of businessmen was, quote, part of everyday conversations, and, quote, between father and son, adding, the witness was very confident that none of these conversations had to do with any business transactions or agreements. Devin Archer, he emphasized that it is kind of an absurd case to think that a father should not say hello to the people his son is having dinner with, and that this fact is essentially the only element of the case. Goldman also argued that President Biden's phone calls did not constitute a conflict of interest because they were, quote, not in furtherance, end quote, of Hunter's business interests. He said, quote, we have to move on, and this investigation is a complete waste of time, end quote, Goldman argued. If House Republicans can't produce hard evidence linking the president to his son's business dealings. The White House highlighted how Archer testified that he never heard President Biden discuss business with his son or his son's associates or do anything wrong. House Republicans promise evidence to support their ridiculous attacks on the president, but time after time they continue to fail to produce any, White House spokesman Ian Sams said in a statement. Speaking on CNN in recent weeks, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy admitted that Republicans have yet to verify the allegations against Joe Biden, namely that as vice president he participated in a bribery scheme with a foreign national to benefit his career of his son, a claim the White House vehemently denies. But he stressed that opening an impeachment inquiry would give the House full power to provide critical information, mirroring an argument House Democrats made when they impeached then-President Donald Trump in 2019. McCarthy, who sources say has also consulted with former House GOP Speaker Newt Gingrich on the issue, has embraced the idea that it's better to scrutinize the president rather than members of his cabinet. In recent weeks, he has issued the most outspoken threat against Biden, saying House Republicans' investigations into the Biden family's business dealings appear to be rising to the level of an impeachment inquiry. Over the weekend, the Justice Department filed a new request asking a judge to set a date for Archer to surrender and begin serving his one-year sentence as a result of his conviction in an unrelated fraud case. The move prompted immediate speculation among some Republicans that the Biden administration was trying to block Archer from answering questions about Hunter Biden before the GOP-led panel, though in a court filing the administration specifically asked that the Archer's sentence after he completes his testimony to Congress, that he be sentenced after his testimony. Devin Archer, in a statement, Archer's attorney said his client does not believe the Justice Department's request is in any way connected to the in-camera filing, although he continues to fight requests related to the scheduling of the date, delivering of his customer. We are aware of speculation that the Justice Department's request over the weekend to commit Archer to prison is an attempt by the administration to intimidate him before his meeting with the White House Oversight Committee on Monday, Schwartz said in a statement on Sunday. To be clear, Mr. Archer does not agree with the speculation. In any case, he's going to do what he planned to do all along, which is to show up on Monday and answer honestly the questions that congressional investigators are going to ask him, Schwartz said. And this I've translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.